Yo, what's going on? You have Marquise back with another video. If you made it this far, congratulations. I am almost so proud of you. Almost, but we got a little bit more to talk about. This is one of my favorite sections right here with the offline grind because this is so important. I know I said that in a previous video, like this is so important. Well, this is also important because this is the next step, right? When you are getting on the phone, after you create the prospect list, and you start to get on the phone, you have to have the finesse with the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? So this is how I'm gonna word this, right? So when it comes to the wordplay, you have to understand how to start a conversation. You have to understand how to close a call. You got to understand how to explain the business. You got to understand how to keep them comfortable. You got to understand how to keep them engaged. And I'm going to pretty much try to break down all of that in this quick video, right? So first is the wordplay. You want to have a friendly conversation. I did mention this before, but when you're talking to somebody, let's say that you are in person with them, you can start it off with a compliment. That's an easy way to start any conversation. If you're on the phone, because now we're hitting the list, right? We're not even in person right at this moment. But you on the phone, right? Yo, what's going on? This is just my personal style. This is just how I personally do it because this is my sense of humor. You have to learn how to break the ice when you're talking to somebody on the phone. So I like to make it a little bit humorous. If it's a woman, I might say, my goodness, Michelle Obama. I ain't heard from you in a long time. That's just my way of saying like you bougie, or I might say, dang, Mr. President. That's just something that I just do on the phone just to kind of break the ice. I guarantee you they're gonna laugh. I'm literally 100% from the field with it. And then they're gonna laugh and be like, no, what's going on? I haven't heard from you in a minute. Whatever the case be, like how you been? Like what you working on? What do you do? These are easy questions to ask people because now what's going to happen is if you want to become a better closer in the business, you have to learn how to become a problem solver, right? I'm going to say that again. If you want to be a good closer, you have to be a problem solver. So once you are starting this friendly conversation, right, you are not calling with the objective to close an individual. You technically are, but you don't just get on the phone and you start it like that. No, you break the ice like, yo, bro, I haven't heard from you in a minute, man. Like, where you been at, man? What, you was on Mars or something? Like, whatever. It could be corny. It could be funny. They're going to laugh. Even if it's a fake laugh, we don't care. Rich people do fake laughs all the time. It is what it is, right? So you're going to start this friendly conversation. After they, I've just been in school. I've been trying to figure this thing out, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, that for real. Like when you graduate, you got to show that you're interested. You know what I'm saying? You have to actually entertain the conversation because you actually do care. This is really a genuine conversation. So this is how you start the conversation. But guess what? As they're talking, I'm in school. I might graduate next semester. Like, okay, bet. What's your major? I'm in school for business management. What do you plan on doing after you graduate? I don't really know. I got this job lined up, blah, 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 blah. Any conversation. I'm just making something up right now. But whatever the conversation is, it could be a female. I'm doing lashes. I do nails, blah, 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 blah. Whatever the case may be. If somebody tell you that they working, this is a good one. I want you to not forget this right here. You can ask them, if you're having a hard time with the conversation, what do you do in terms of entrepreneurship? Are you making any money from doing a hustle? Do you got a hustle? What are you doing on the side? You can word it however you want to word it. That is almost the greatest way to kind of start that conversation if you're having a hard time getting it on that track. And based off of what they say, now what you're looking for, I'm gonna get this red mark here. And this is like some of my favorite sauce in the world. So take this serious. I just don't miss. If I call you one-on-one, if I call you one-on-one, good luck. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even intentional. This is just naturally what I do. You know what I'm saying? So look, you have to look for the entry to launch. I call it an entry point in the conversation. This is so important. I know I keep saying that. But when somebody says something like, you know what I'm saying? I did try to do stocks, or I tried to do Bitcoin, or I did start my business, or I had this clothing brand, blah, 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 blah. How is that going? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, no. It's a good chance that they're probably going to ask you what you do. But in the event that they don't ask you what you do, this is how you do it. Like, nah, it's crazy. Let's say that somebody said that they did nails, like how many clients, you got a lot of clients for that. Do you have a booth? How much is the booth rent? If you don't mind me asking, I'm just curious. Oh, it's 800 or 1200. Like, dang, you make enough money to cover that? I mean, yeah, blah, blah, blah. That's crazy because, bro, money was just tight for me like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Money was like really crazy, and it's just, something unbelievable happened. You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of relate it back to you, and you go into a story. Now, this brings me to my next point, and I'm going to try to speed this up because I don't want this video to be super long. Ladies and gentlemen, please, you have to understand that facts tell, stories sell. The best speakers, the best closers are the ones who tell a story. The reason why I am on this camera today explaining how to do this, and I'm inside of Iovia, is because Mr. Banks called my phone with a story about how, I'm really making good money with digital marketing, but, I'm kind of bored. So I made this phone call just to see what was going on and blah, blah, blah. He painted this picture. He told me a story. I got clothes from a story. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's crazy. Banks, you good. You know what I'm saying? But this is how you do it. Facts tell, stories sell. You tell a story of your experience. You have to remember how you got clothes. And that feeling that you had that made you like, you know what, I'm going to do that. You got to learn how to recreate that same feeling for somebody else. You got to learn how to paint the picture. So just think about what closed you and think about why you made your decision and tell your story. But your story is going to be a pitch. Once your story is a pitch and you get to going and going and going, this is how you do it. This is sauce right here. This is how you close a lot. They say every 10 people, you should get 1 or 2. No, with this right here, as soon as somebody answers the phone, you can almost consider them closed if you do the transition smoothly from these two right here. If you can do the friendly conversation and the entry point to the launch smoothly, you are in the game 100% of the time. Now, this is big. Once you're telling your story, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to ask a question, right? So let's say, I travel. When you tell them story, like, my situation was crazy, et cetera, et cetera. So I got invited to this event, or my situation was crazy. I was supposed to go on this vacation, but bread was just tight. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to go to wherever. You can say Thailand, you can say Dubai, you can say Bali, you can say wherever you want to go. Miami, Chicago, Houston, Detroit, New York, wherever you at. You know what I'm saying? You can tell them like, yo, I looked up this hotel. The hotel was like $1,100. I was supposed to go to this wedding, but I couldn't really afford that. So one of my guys, he was using some platform and they had travel attached to it. But it's crazy because they also had something regarding investing on the back end with like Bitcoin or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But he let me use his portal. This is just an example right now. He let me use this portal and the hotel was $1,100. But because he had this account with this platform called Iovia, this is where you ask the question. Guess how much the hotel went down to? It went from $1,100 to guess what? Actually, if you guess it right, I'll pay for you to create your account. You don't even understand how many closes. I've had over 1,000 personal enrollments in my first ever business from asking a question in my pitch, right? Once you ask them this question, if you get this right, I actually pay for you to create your account. They're like, oh man, they $1,100? What? Did it get dropped down to 800? Whatever they say, you know what I'm saying? You can tell them, nah, bro, it went down to $742. I saved almost $400 just because he was a member on this. And I travel a lot, you know what I'm saying? And boom, that's just an example with the travel side. It can be like that with you made money trading. You could have made money doing digital marketing. Oh, I created this store. Like, you ain't even gonna believe how much money I made on my 4th day. Like, actually, if you tell me, if you guess how much money I made in 4 days, I'll pay for your account. Let them guess. This is how you keep them engaged. Now, most of 95%, 99.8% of the time, they're going to get it wrong. I've only ever had one person get it right. And unfortunately for me, it was on stage in front of like 300 people. So I really had to pay for him to sign up because I had an audience. But I would have did it anyway. So boom. Now, after you get to the end of this conversation and you ask the question, you're going to tell them like, actually, I'm about to send you this website. You're going to get through the whole pitch. After they guess, oh my God, that's crazy. After they guess and get it wrong and you tell them what it actually was, blah, blah, blah. You have to proceed with closing the conversation. I'm not going to go all the way into detail how to close because it's so many different options. I don't know what your specific package is, so I'm going to leave that open for you. But after you get done, you're going to send them your link. You're going to say, yo, I'm about to send you this website. Like, I'm about to click on this website. Once the website loads up, like, yo, which 2 packages do you want? I'm assuming, I'm under the assumption that you sent them to Transform. Which 2 packages do you want? Boom, boom. And you pretty much walk them through this, right? Now, as they're going through it, you're going to talk them through the process. right? So once they are going through this website, my man said that he was in college and he graduated next year, and his major was business management. Like, yo, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I commend you for graduating, because I dropped out. I couldn't even really do it. Like, did you have to study a lot? You know what I'm saying? Did you study a lot, or you just somebody who got A's? I mean, not, oh Lord Jesus. Are you somebody who naturally just got A's? That's what I'm saying. So you got to just learn how to have conversations, right? And once you do that, this is how you close a lot of your calls. It's about your wordplay. It's about your engagement in the conversation. How friendly are you? Can you hold the conversation, the dialogue? Are they responsive? Are you doing all of the talking? Are you going into the facts too much? People are always engaged into stories every single time. So if you learn how to do this, and you can turn your pitch into a story, and you can have a good entry point into the launch, your closing percentage will go up. I guarantee you. I will see you in the next video.